Welcome, I'm Kenneth Manessi with KEYtoVEGAShome.com, where just one click, you can have a less stressful, faster real estate experience right here in Las Vegas. I'm also the author of the book, Inside Secrets, What I Wish My Agent Would Have Told Me About Buying and Selling Real Estate here in Las Vegas. You're either watching or listening to the podcast where each week we interview an expert guest, and this week we're going to talk about title reports. You've probably heard about it, you've probably even seen it. We're going to talk about why that's important to the real estate transaction. If you'd like a copy of this book, Inside Secrets, for free, I'll actually mail you a hard copy. Just go to KEYtoVEGAShome.com. There's a homeowner tab there. Click the link, and I'll actually mail this hard copy to you. Plus, I'll give you a monthly statement each month. That was a hard one thing to say. Each month, so that you will know how your home is performing in your own neighborhood. If you want a digital download, there's a link there. You can actually put your email address in there. You can get a copy of that right now. So let's not take any more time, because I want to introduce our guest. And really, this is somebody who has shed a lot of great insights and a wealth of knowledge to the title business, Mr. Tim Sams. Tim, welcome to the show, Inside Secrets.
Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you for having me. This is truly an honor, and I appreciate you and my business, and just pretty excited to be here today.
Yes. Well, we've been talking about this, and let's face it, let's break it down. Let's strip away all the mumbo jumbo that, let's face it, most of us are afraid to ask the simple little question like, okay, what's a title report? Can you help us break it down for those that have never heard it or don't really understand what it is? So help us understand that, Tim.
Even better yet, what is title insurance? Ken, I get this day in, day out throughout all my conversations. So in the real estate business transaction, right, whether you're financing a property, you're buying, you're selling, that record of the transaction is going to be recorded in public archives, if you will, right?
Yep.
And likewise, on the other side, where you might have a lien or a levy, something that might cloud a title, that is also being archived in the public archives, if you will. So our job as a title company is to go out and research that and dig through all that information to make sure that we can clear up any issues that might be on title. And then once we go through that process, then we're able to insure that property per se. So what the title insurance is just that. It's insurance that we've done our due diligence, and that as best we can to uncover anything that might be clouding the title. And once we do that, then we have the policy that is issued, and it's a one-time purchase for the lifetime that you own that home.
So let's flip that coin. If there's a cloud on title, if there's something on the title, what happens?
Well, exactly, and that's truly where our expert, escrow officers come into play. We have 30 here at First American Title. They're all amazing, but that is their job day in, day out, to work with our title company, title department, if you will, to make sure that those issues are cleared as best as we can, and then reaching out to the agent or your client, so on and so forth, to further that process to make sure that it's a smooth transaction, because at the end of the day, that's what we want. Smooth transactions to make you look like a rock star.
There you go. Well, if we have somebody that's got a cloud on title, what happens to the escrow process? I mean, does everything just stop? Can you not buy the house? Help us understand if someone gets the telephone call or the email, hey, listen, there was a title issue here. There's a cloud on title. What does that mean? Does that mean that the house can't be bought?
Well, again, it's an obstacle that we have to overcome and clear, and through due diligence and working through that process, hopefully we can clear all of them. Now, once we've gone through that process, and if we do come across an issue, that could certainly delay the closing of the property just the same until we get that cleared. So always in the best interest of all parties to be, disclosing fully. If your client by chance has a tax lien, let's see if we can, rise that to the top and bring awareness to it so we can get to work on it sooner than later.
And you brought up something really important, and that is a title search. One of the things that we do, and you obviously know, Tim, because I work with First American Title, and as Tim said, these are some of the top professionals in the industry. They know their stuff. They know how to get things done. So let's face it. I come to you guys and I say, hey, listen, I want to help these sellers sell their home, and I think there might be an issue with the title. I can maybe see some things in MLS or some of the things about tax records. I turn that over to you guys. What do you guys do at that point?
Well, again, that goes directly into the hands of the escrow officer that you've opened up the transaction with, and through either that individual or her team or his team, they work through that issue, and they actually go out and start clearing liens. If it is a tax lien, as an example, they're in touch with the IRS trying to get information to find out, the ins and outs of that particular obstacle, if you will. So it's their job to get all that cleared and work through things as quickly as they can.
Yes. And most people don't realize that this whole process about title insurance and cloud on title, chain of title actually happened in 1906. It was the great earthquake of San Francisco that we had some people out there because they knew that all the records were burned during that great earthquake and fire. And so they started going out and telling people, I have this title or this deed of this property, I can sell it to you. And the truth was they were making up, those were forged documents. Those documents were people using that to obviously take advantage of people. And then the idea of what we needed to protect people was this idea of title insurance. That's why this is so important. Why in a transaction you need to have title insurance. You need someone on your team that's going to actually do the research. So let me ask you, Tim, you said they do research. So do your escrow officers actually go down to the county building? They go through microfiche? I mean, what do they do to actually research and figure out if this property can be sold and if the title has any issue?
Yeah, no, that's my job, Ken. I don't think I've ever disclosed that to you. They phone me up and it's like, Tim, can you run down to county records? And that's what I do sometimes. Now, we want to keep them behind the desk, obviously, front and center with the escrow and the transaction to make sure that they're on top of the deal for a smooth transaction, right? But internally, we have a whole title division, if you will, and it's their job specifically to go in and research this information. And then once that is completed, then they issue title, which flows on up to the escrow officer, and then that can be released, so on and so forth. And earlier you had mentioned, what was it, 1906?
Yes.
So this is crazy to me because there are not a lot of companies out there that have been in business for 125 plus years, and that is First American Title. So I hold that very near and dear to my heart. We've got a wealth of information, wealth of knowledge in this whole entire process. And when you look at our company, like a financial credit scoring, we're A+, and you want them in your back pocket. You want us in your back pocket on transactions because, when you're dealing with your clients, obviously this very well could be the very largest, financial transaction in their lives, and you want it to go as smooth as possible. And again, at the end of the day, once we clear some of the little issues that might be there, we can issue a title policy. Then that stays with you for life, but it also covers things that might pop up in the future that maybe, something that slipped by us by chance because, some of the details that we have to dig into, it's pretty deep. So we want to make sure that we do our due diligence up front when we issue the title. That's your insurance going forward, that if something does pop up, that we've got your back, your client's back.
And there's simple little things. I find this all the time during transactions. We had a couple that was married. They took possession of the property. They went through a divorce. And what we find is we still have both people on title. The spouse has probably gone on, remarried, and maybe even has another property. And those kind of things are what we talk about as we talk about cloud on title. Is that right, Tim?
That's absolutely. And I'm going to defer to my notes if I may. So how about the top five, just at a high level, top five? So I'm going to defer to my notes to make sure I get this right. So problems that can surface after you close on your home and affect your home ownership rights. Some of these are more common title problems include errors in public record, right?
Yep.
Like a filing mistake or an inaccuracy or a former deed, maybe something that slipped by us. Unknown liens can pop up resulting from unpaid debts of former owners. Missing heirs who come forward years after the owner passes away and you purchased the home. Scary thing, huh? Maybe. Yeah. Forgeries, you mentioned forgeries, like a forged or falsified document that pops up. Survey or boundary, say that one time, issues that may affect your ownership and cause disputes. So those are like the top 5 title problems that can crop up.
So, and why this is so important for you, the either person buying or selling, is that we cannot record if title or the chain of title is not clear. When I say record, what I'm saying is that not closing escrow, actually recording, taking the title, the deed, and transferring it to your name. That's not going to happen if we have an issue. So really, this is something that protects you as the homeowner or buyer or seller, because at the end of the day, you know, you can sleep at night that one, this home that you are now sleeping in, if you just purchased, actually does belong to you.
Right.
Or in the future, someone can't come to you and say, hey, listen, I was going through, my grandparents' paperwork and look what I found. I found a deed on this house. I own it. So that's important. And to have insurance so that you can sleep at night, resting knowing that this home actually does belong to you. No one's going to be knocking on your door in the middle of the night trying to get your home from you. Or more importantly, when you sell your home, that there's no issues. So you don't have a buyer coming back and potentially opening up lawsuits. So this is really, really important. I can't tell people how many times that having a company like First American Title, having an escrow officer dive into the title and find a problem and uncover it, correct it, and then moving forward literally is a lifesaver or a home saver in many cases. So quick question for you. We hear this a lot of times, and I get this a lot. So what's the difference between title and escrow? Are they the same thing? Are you guys the same or one person? Help people understand the difference when we say, First American Title and escrow are just a title company.
Yeah, as you well know, escrow is a process. We're kind of essentially just think of it as like a third party that facilitates the transaction, if you will, from the escrow side of it. And then when you think about title, obviously the things that we've been talking about, clearing title, clearing issues on title, and then at the end of the day, issuing a title policy to make sure that, when your client, your homeowner gets into the property, they're at ease, peace of mind. And that's definitely important, obviously, to all involved in that transaction for sure.
Right. And in First American Title, we have not only the title company, but we also have the escrow company, which keeps everything in-house. How does that benefit the end user?
Well, again, just a complete package, if you will, all things encompassed that we've got the expertise, the knowledge, and certainly, obviously, the experience, right, over a tremendous amount of period, years, right? So that's extremely important because it can be a little stressful when you're buying a house and when you're acting as whether you're acting as a seller's agent or the buyer's agent, right? So it can be a kind of a scary transaction, but as you say, a less stressful transaction if you go with Ken. Definitely, you want to make sure that your title company has your best interest and is working as hard as you, the realtor.
And I agree. And communication is key. And that's why I love First American Title, because escrow and title, same place under the same roof. I don't have to worry about somebody didn't get an email, didn't get a call, it's all right there. It's done for me. It's done for my clients. And more importantly, I know that everything can be trusted into the hands of people that have maybe not all the people there, but hundreds of years of experience.
Right.
And the escrow officers that I work with on a regular basis Matter of fact, we just put one in escrow this morning with one of my escrow officers there at First American Title. And I know this, that I can let my clients know that they're going to be working to help make sure this process is less stressful and it's faster. And at the end of the day, everybody gets to enjoy this thing we call buying and selling real estate. It should be an enjoyment. Would you agree, Tim?
Absolutely. And, you know, Ken, that's one of the things that I've always appreciated about you and knowing you and to our, let me just mute this over here.
Sure.
Sorry. But that said, all the conversations that we've had, right? And being able to formulate a very strong, supportive team, not only, you know, for you, the realtor, but on the title side, making sure that you have title on your team in place, making sure that you have a lender in place and you have these things and these systems in place. That's why you can use your tagline, you know, a less stressful experience or transaction, right?
Yeah, and that's what this thing is so stressful. They say there's 5 things that stress people out. They're on the top 5 list. One's changing job, another's death, marriage, child, and then moving or real estate. This is just a stressful thing. We have to be working with experts that understand the process and get it done faster. It's who you work with is very important. And for me, it's always about making sure that I have experts on my team so that they can be working for my clients also to help them have a less stressful, faster real estate experience. Tim, thank you so much. I know we could spend hours talking about this and dive deep into other subjects, but I want to just give people a 30,000-foot view of this idea of title insurance, why it's important to them, how it helps them. If someone wants to reach out and ask a specific question to you or somebody on your team, how can we get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So you can reach me at my cell number, 702-378-3342. That's probably the best way to get in touch with me. You can call me, shoot me a text. And, you know, quite honestly, if your question is way above my pay grade, I will absolutely dig in deep and talk with the experts here when it comes to all things title. I want to put you in the very best hands that I can to make sure that, you know, your information is getting to you correct.
And if you're a licensed real estate professional in Las Vegas, do yourself a favor, reach out to Tim and his team. You are not going to be disappointed. This gentleman has a ton of tools in his toolbox that can help you have success in your real estate profession. So I'd be happy to make an introduction for you. I would love to have you get a chance to sit down with Tim and see first, see what he's got to offer, but secondly, see how that's helping real estate agents here in Las Vegas have success in their business. So, Tim, thank you. We're going to put all that information in the show notes. And I just want to say, if you'd like to get a copy of this book, Inside Secrets, just go to KEYtoVEGAShome.com. You'll see the link under Homeowner tab. I'd be happy to mail out a free copy to you. I want to make sure that each and every week we get a guest, just like Tim, an expert that understands their process, their actual work in this thing we call escrow or real estate transactions so that you can have success. And I want to open up and make sure you have access to them. So do yourself a favor, reach out to Tim, make sure that you put him on his team. And more importantly, let's get some real estate done here in Las Vegas that's less stressful and faster. I want to thank Tim and thank you for watching and listening. Next week, I can't wait I'm not going to even tell you. I'll just wait for you to see it. We've got a guest that I have been excited about for a long time that is going to be on the show. So if you have a chance to subscribe or hit the like button or whatever you're doing, listening or watching, make sure you do that. We'd love to serve you in any way we can. And if you have a question or comment, please reach out to me. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Tim. And
thank you, Ken. I appreciate it so much. Have a great day.